Welcome back. A lot of talk around the economy there. But we have a question for you, CBN Director in Abuja. Kayode is asking, he says, if the interest rate is lowered, it will increase inflation rates.
That's what Mr. Tule said.
Yes. So why is it that the inflation rate is still going up when the interest rate has not been lowered? Kayode wants to know.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, the current trend in the high inflation rate is reform-induced. We would recall as a country in the first quarter of 2016, we had acute shortage of petroleum products, which even before the government made any pronouncements, fuel prices were selling at very high price, sometimes even 300 naira a liter. That also, it was the same period that experienced acute shortage of foreign exchange. Now, in the second quarter, some key reform steps had been taken by the government. First of all, there was the repricing of petroleum products from 87 to 145 or so. And then in June, the central bank announced the liberalization in the foreign exchange market. And then there was also the increase in the electricity tariff. Now, all these three that are reform-induced were not of a monetary nature, but they had the impetus of increasing price levels on their own. And besides, you would notice that there's very high pass-through from developments in petroleum prices to prices in Nigeria, to inflation in Nigeria, and then developments in exchange rate also to domestic price levels. There's a very high pass-through. So once anything touches any of this, it has nothing to do with interest rate, it has nothing to do with monetary policy, but then you will see that prices will be on the increase. So that is part of what we saw leading to the heightened increase in prices. But on a month-to-month basis, we saw that for some of the components of inflation, from month to month, we saw them dropping. But we expect that given the base effect of what happened in 2016, the inflation numbers shown maybe from February come lower than what they were in 2016. But that does not abstract from the fact that the budget itself is expected to be expansionary. And given the economic growth plan, we're expecting a lot of liquidity injection in the economy in 2017. Now, that again is going to provide a challenge for the central bank to try to manage developments in inflation. That is what happened to the current level of inflation, even though interest rates were not lowered.
Okay, Mr. Dawsa, the question about the Nigerian economy being resilient in the face of all the bombardment and all, why does it look as if we do not have a policy, an economic policy that works for us? We're not like other countries. They are bombarded with these same things and they seem to be going under. But the Nigerian economy stays afloat in the midst of all that's coming. So what is it that's keeping us there? And why can't we pick that as a policy direction in the economy?
Well, that's why they are called fundamentals. They are given in the sense that there are certain things we have here that are here. The size, the agriculture, and so on. But you need the right policies to get the maximum benefit from these natural advantages that we have. One of the simple right policies was to have started producing our refined products 20, 30 years ago. And we should have become a net exporter of refined products because we have all the barrels of oil under the ground. We have the capacity to build refineries. So those policies that did not take full advantage of our natural competitive advantages before led us to where we are. Right now, we realize we need to do it. But in the interim, between now and the next 2 years, when some of those things are achieved, we talk about food self-sufficiency, about producing enough refined products in Nigeria. Until those are achieved, we will continue to suffer from poor policies of previous administrations.
So would you support some people who are calling for a rejig in the this current economic team?
Well, we need changes in the way the policies are crafted and implemented. If the same person there agrees that he or she has made a mistake and is ready to correct it, all well and good. If the person cannot correct it, then you have to change the person.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, an economist, and Mr. Moses Tule, Director, Monetary Policy Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
So, we'll be back in a moment. Please don't go away.